There's no difference.
All right, we're live.
It's like, okay.
So yeah, let's not get into that one.
Tomato.
Yeah.
Oh, no, let's lead with that one. What are you talking about?
Tomato. Potato.
Oh man. I was I know you didn't make it your birthday was last week. You were enjoying family time and coming back from CoastCon. How's the rest of the CoastCon for you?
It was fun. I was enjoyed dressing up and taking pictures with folks, and I saw Rob Serio and some other folks that we knew. But we didn't have much of a turnout as we normally do for CoastCon, so that was a little disappointing.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we had a good weekend.
Yeah, I have my opinions on that, but I won't share them on the show.
I had fun. I met all the people I wanted to meet.
Yeah, no, it's not an issue of people. I like all the people there.
Like I went there to see certain people. Man, I saw everybody I went to meet. It was great. I got to meet Rob Serio, like we said.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. Yeah. I was just letting Bloodaxe get his in, but.
Mm-hmm. So I had a great time.
All right. Well, let's get started. Welcome to Dicejunkies. I'm Xenodamus. I'm here with
Q.
And on Skype,
we had the return of Bloodaxe.
We get the return of Bloodaxe a lot lately, man. You gotta calm down your life some, man. You've been a busy dude.
Yeah, my Friday night gaming group's telling me the same thing. So,
good to have you though. Sadly, starting off on bad news, and that is the passing of a legend, and that is
Akira Toriyama, possibly the father of American anime, as in the guy that made the anime that brought anime to America. Young black man watching Toonami, watching Dragon Ball Z, while I actually started off on Ninja Scroll and Vampire Hunter D, I very much remember that Toonami and Goku and watching the start of this series where we see Raditz landing on Earth and beginning that series is what is the whole reason that anime is here. And I mean, how famous is Akira Toriyama? I have a 15-year-old and a 13-year-old, and on the way, I picked them up, and we're going. I said, hey, I got to go do a video today for Akira Toriyama. He passed, and they looked at me and said, you mean the Dragon Ball guy? So modern-day kids, young black kids, 13 and 15, I didn't say Dragon Ball. I said his name, and they knew who he was.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, there's not a lot of creators in anime, even though I watch a lot of anime and I read a lot. I can't recall most names. This is one of the names. There's probably about 5 names in total that I would recognize if mentioned in the genre. For one, I'm crap with names, but for two, it's just unless they're really, really outstanding, you don't really think of the names of creators of your favorite movies or TV shows.
I know why it's important to you because you're not a Dragon Ball fan, but you're a big Dragon Warrior. And he Xeno plays even now. He plays.
Dude, I mean,
Dragon
even not being a
out.
Dragon Ball fan, it's not that I'm not familiar with the franchise. It was mostly Dragon Ball Z I didn't care for because of the exaggerated episodes. I watched the original Dragon Ball when I was a kid. Had it on VHS. So, I mean, it's one of those things of, I mean, I think even if you're not a big fan of Dragon Ball, if you're in this community, you're familiar with it. Even Bloodaxe, who hates anime, knows Dragon Ball.
Yeah, you can't have not heard of it. And, go ahead, Bloodaxe, what you got?
Yeah, no, I mean that's one of the few I'm familiar with, but I think it's one of those animes that crosses over into pop culture just because of the popularity of it. Because those other things you mentioned, I never heard of before, except for Ninja Scroll, which that's the one you gave me for my birthday one year. But the other ones I don't know, but I know Dragon Ball.
And And I'm going to say this next part to roll into a bit of an interestingly controversial thing that occurred is that it's interesting how it crossed cultures because I was watching videos and I watch a lot of different YouTubers and a fun video was a show comedy video about brothers in the hood sitting down and they walk in and they see people, the guys on the couch watching anime like, man, you boys watching cartoons, man, y'all a bunch of kids. But then they see Goku and Jiren fighting, and they like, man, they throwing hands. And you sit down, and a lot of people started watching Dragon Ball because they saw a fight scene.
Well, no,
and they saw one of these fight scenes, and they were just like, okay, this ain't a cartoon, man. They getting down, and it was really popular in the black community, man, because the fight scenes, man. Who cared about the story? You could just sit down and just, like you say, you could sit down and just start watching it and watching these fights and going, I don't even care what the story is. They throwing down in there. Yeah. And then Piccolo became just adopted completely into the black community,
Well, no, I will say, I mean, anime has been one of those that has crossed borders when it comes to a lot of racial diversity. I mean, heck, man, I had an older black gentleman who came by to help install the door in the back, and he's come over a couple of times with one of our main guys that does a lot of maintenance here. And, he was like, man, y'all told me where you could find some Dragon Ball last time I was here. I want to really thank you, man. I've been watching so much of it, and he just started going through and telling me, and I'm not a big Dragon Ball fan, so I'm just sort of nodding, but it's just like, just sharing the culture, sharing the enjoyment. It was really cool, and it's like, yeah, Dragon Ball was one of those that really crossed everybody's boundary. I mean, it doesn't matter if you talk to somebody from England, Australia, wherever, South Africa, they probably know about Dragon Ball, even if they're not an anime fan.
Yeah, like I said, everybody had favorite characters. Everybody enjoyed the show. Like I said, adopted. I found out later that Jiren was really popular. I was telling the Latino community, Jiren ended up like people. I remember watching videos. I was like, why is Jiren speaking Spanish and everyone else speaking English? And found out he was popular. People just grabbed characters, man, and adopted certain characters, and just became popular. So it was, very interesting that. We covered last week that there was a employee of Sweet Baby Inc. that he also did character designs for Chrono Trigger, one of my favorite games.
Yeah, we mentioned Dragon Quest earlier. Chrono Trigger as well.
But the same person who tried to cancel the person that did the game tracker decided to literally. I think you have a picture.
Yeah, I was so
I'm just gonna do a quick mention. No,
I know. It's just it's one of those things. I want to put a good. I want to end this and jump to that because I don't want to combine that with the memory.
This, we have a send off for Akira Toriyama, a great creator. It does mean, that Tien will never get his day in the light and we'll never find out what happened to launch.
I don't know. He could have notes somewhere. I mean, we've seen that before with stories where they go through the estate and you find more stuff. So there may be a lot of creations that still come from Akira Toriyama. It is very possible. I mean, we've seen it with other creators. A lot of them put things in a box that they themselves didn't think was good enough. But then people go through and go, this is brilliant,
Because Donald Doya is a gamer and YouTuber and streamer who's a big fan of Oob like me, and we were looking forward to that character's story arc. Yeah. And we both were going,
hopefully left behind some notes. But yeah, I mean, it sucks that he passed. I hate to see it as well. And like I said, let's, sending that off and, best of wishes towards his family, anybody left behind.
Rest in pieces, but want to let you know here in the States, man, that we absolutely love Akira Toriyama. We know him. He is well known and beloved here. Please do not take, what one person says
Yeah, and
to represent the community.
We're going to jump here, and then we'll jump to that. That way we get a nice little separator.
Yeah, we'll get a palate cleanse.
But all right. Well, let's move on. Next is Suicide Squad, $70.
You know, that's kind of related. Cause,
I know
because they ruined that.
Yes, that's why I said we'd go from there.
You're kind of competent.
I know,
You're
right?
Better.
Yeah, I thought so.
It only took like 5 years.
You know, it happens. So it's all this gray. It had to bring wisdom eventually, you know.
You're keeping all your wisdom in your beard.
Yeah.
All right.
Suicide Squad 70% price tag slashed by 40% just a month after launch. Now this is with this is that catastrophe of a game that are what many people say. I haven't played it. So I will say alleged. I mean, obviously sales tell you something and reviews, but
and eyes, because you can watch it. You can go watch people play it.
True. I can't suffer through it, man. I can't. I know you do, and I appreciate you for doing that.
I've watched this game played from beginning to. I've watched hours of Suicide Squad, and all I can say is that
But for a game to drop 40% just a month after launch, that tells you a lot.
A game that has dropped 40% a month after launch, that has like 12 or 13 seasons planned, and is nowhere near done. They haven't even hit their first DLC, and the game's 40% off. And remember, you got to kill Brainiac 13 times. We're only one in. That's a massive price drop for a live service game that's this early in. Because this means they're already operating at a massive loss. They are. Because they can't hike the price back up from 40%. You can't go 40% down, go to the next season, and try to go back up. Because people are going to be like, well, people aren't usually going to want to pay more for something that was cheaper.
I have seen games do this before where they do a price cut. They try to see if a price cut is enough to get people in. And if it is, they'll try to repair the game and then knock the price back up once they start getting good reviews again.
Yeah, well, me and Bloodaxe are a little bit more miserly. If the game was ever 40, if the game's 40% off, I'm not paying more than 40% off for it, because then I feel like I'm an idiot. I'm like, wait a minute, this game's 40% off. You want me to pay full price for it now?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't see. I mean, with the track record here, I really don't see them really making it a good game anyway.
Not enough to knock
so, I
the
mean,
price
honestly, 40% off isn't enough. We'll see this in the $9 bin or less eventually.
Ooh. Hey, deep cut. He's holding. You got something else hidden in that beard. Wow, $9 bin. I'm like,
oh. I mean, dude. I mean, I don't have any faith, and you know, and if they keep relying on Sweet Baby Ink like they did, it's only going to get worse. Especially when you have people.
This doesn't help. Yeah.
And Sweet Baby Ink making comments like this that accuse a guy who just died of being a racist, and I mean, here's the thing. So what if he was? You know, I'm not saying he is. You know, there's cultural differences and cultural divides here, and there's just lack of knowledge, you know. But why? What is it with attacking dead people?
We talked about it. I was on a rant before the show about how they did this with Stan Lee. It's the poor taste. Let me tell you something. To have the actual death post of someone, and then above that, to attack their legacy and work, I don't care if it's even true.
I mean,
it's still in poor taste. A man is dead, his family is mourning, and you want to go, yeah, but I didn't like his black characters. And it's like, well, first of all, no one likes you. No, this is that person. I'm not being mean. This is the person that got kicked off of Twitter and got her company ruined. Go check it out. I'm not making accusations. Sweet Baby Ink is in the gutter. Do you know that they've hit nearly 100,000 subscribers? It's been going up to that app. This person is single-handedly responsible for, like, destroying her company, and then decided, hey, one of the most popular anime in the world's creators just died. I think I can F it up more.
Yeah, let me go spit on that.
And I'm just like, that is in such poor taste. You're human scum. You're just human scum. Like,
Here's my thing, dude. Comments and attitudes like that mean, even if Sweet Baby Inc. was to get better, let's say, and get more creative, I still wouldn't support them at this point. I mean, I couldn't, with that kind of attitude, I'd
disgusting behavior.
Yeah.
I mean, a family is mourning. He died from health complications. That's not funny. You know that this is a send-off from his fans. If you don't like his work, then don't send him off. That's very simple. That's all it takes. Guess what? I'm not a fan of some stuff out there, too. If a person dies I don't like, you know what I do? I might turn to him and be like, whatever. I'm not going to go online to all the people that care about him and go, ha, 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 ha. Because you know why? Because I'm not human garbage.
Yeah.
That's just so poor taste. It just disgusted me. Like, I'm not acting. I was literally disgusted because it's the day of his death. It's not a day after. It's the day of his death.
Honestly, maybe this is part of the new era, because, here's the thing. In the past, people would die, and a few years would pass, and then somebody would release a book that was shitting on them, But now, you don't have to wait to publish a book. And so it's showing the worst of people even sooner.
Well, a year or two had passed, so the mourning was done.
Yeah, but the thing
People were
back when you had to write a book, it took a year or two to get it published, get it out there.
Sometimes people would also do an expose and go on a talk show, but they still waited for the body to cool. The few people that did go on a talk show got railed like you're supposed to because it was considered in poor taste. Because ultimately, someone has died. And you're not a victim of Akira Toriyama. He didn't know you. This isn't a case of someone going out and going, Akira Toriyama killed my dog and shot my mom. This is somebody just going, I didn't like his anime characters. And the person saying it isn't even in the anime business.
Yeah.
They're not even relevant. This is some stupid sensitivity writer for video games. They're not even a voice actor. They're literally not even relevant. They're so irrelevant to the topic.
Is if you had this problem, and hell, they have a platform, they have a company. They
sunk that.
It was it was getting traction. Hell, at that point, if you had a problem, why didn't you say something while he was alive?
Cowards and scum.
Because people have asked him, from my understanding, have asked him about it.
Yeah, I will say, man, he was terrible at doing black characters. It's not a false statement his black characters were bad. The thing is that ask him about it. Say something. Mm-hmm. Like it's also the cowardice of waiting till someone's dead and then talking crap. It's like, well, they can't say anything because they're dead, because you're a coward. So I'll speak up for him and call you human garbage. And I'm black, and I think black characters were trash. His character in Dragon Ball was called Mr. Black.
Yeah.
And he was a big black dude with a bald head and big old lips. And, literally. Yeah. And he shot his boss with a gun. Yeah. I remember the character. You don't got to convince me. I know the characters. I remember the basketball dude with boxing gloves. They were terrible.
Yeah.
I'm not defending his characters. I'm saying that I made this comment. I talked to you. I talked to him. I've mentioned the character while he was alive.
Dude, but at the same time, we also know Japan doesn't have a large black population. When and you look at any different culture other than Japanese that Japan writes about and puts in their stuff, they tend to be a caricature of that.
Dude, Tien is supposed to be a Chinese character, and he gets dogged out. It ain't exactly rare. People get it hard if they ain't certain people in the show. It's like it ain't new. You know what I'm saying?
We've always known Japan has had a bit of an and nationality,
dude, we
reference.
read web novels.
Yeah.
We've seen some stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It goes both ways. We read Chinese web novels. You don't want to know what we read in those.
Dude, solo leveling was not kind to Japanese and in Japan. Korean isn't the nicest to Japan either.
Or China. It goes all the way.
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, it's that's why it was all shocking to a lot of us that a Japanese anime studio had picked up solo leveling. I'm still curious what they're going to do when they get the
let's just say that the American hunters and the Japanese hunters and the Korean hunters did not get along.
Oh yeah, America was nothing but a bunch of assholes.
Eagle Man,
and and then like Japan was I think the backstabbing and cowardly and
it was not friendly. So what we're trying to say is that it's not new. It's that, like we say, there's different cultures. It's kind of funny because everybody acts like America's the home of certain prejudices. No, it's pretty much the world. Everybody's got them. Unfortunately, it's a worldwide thing. Believe it or not, it's not just one thing. It's around the world, very much so. But the point is just that I'm not saying that the statement that his black characters were terrible is false. I'm saying it's not a conversation to have over his death announcement. It's not even a conversation to have in general because nobody cares.
Also, if you're if you're already in the pisser and pissed off half the internet, it's also not a good thing to just go ahead and push that button to piss. It's like, let me go ahead and shove my company off this ledge here to clean everything up.
Like I said, it's like, it doesn't do him well. They also weren't in there a lot. It isn't like he didn't drag him through the ringer like Yamcha and Tien. They got it bad. They just showed up, were terrible, disappeared. Badly done.
Back to Suicide Squad and talking about doubling down.
Oh yeah, they're not done screwing up. Warner goes, hey, we think this live service thing's a good idea.
So apparently Warner, after a lot of people did not like the whole live service thing with Suicide Squad, are now supposedly talking about the next Hogwarts being live service as well.
Their best-selling game, possibly the best-selling game in years. They are saying, you know what Hogwarts Legacy 2 needs to be after we had such a massive success with it and then a massive failure with Suicide Squad?
Now, this is a lot of rumor because, Hogwarts Legacy 2, I don't even think is confirmed yet.
I don't know, dude. I've heard from multiple sources that they have been announcing their plans for it to be live service, man. I have not heard that from one place.
Yeah.
That has been very heavily supported across a lot of media. That Warner Brothers is doubling down on Suicide Squad, planning to complete all the seasons, and planning to go with the live. What it is like you once said, because I don't know why you try to flip your script, is that they see all these other live service games
I'm not trying to flip my script. I'm just saying that, there's a lot of things that aren't confirmed. I do want to focus on the fact of, we're not saying this is 100%.
True. Now, take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. But, Warner, it is rumored that Warner Brothers plans to focus on free-to-play, live service, and mobile games, potentially impacting future releases like Hogwarts Legacy 2.
Yeah, well, like you said, because what put out there that I liked is he made sense. They see the mobile games and they really want that money, and no matter how much they lose, they just can't. It's like they're like, but mobile games, so they're gonna burn it. They're gonna keep throwing in on it, even though they bombed Suicide Squad. Yeah. So now they're gonna ruin another franchise.
I don't know. I will say, after they got shat on for Hogwarts, and last year's awards and all that.
Well, they care though. They made money. They don't care about awards. Awards don't make money.
Yeah. It does make money. It does. It is part of the system. Getting your name out there, getting your game out there. If you end up on awards, you'll see a boost in late sales, where at the end of the year, I see Hogwarts on as one of the top games of the year. Man, maybe I should have bought that game. That's what happens. So you do lose out a little bit on the money and so.
But here's the thing. Imagine how much better a game Suicide Squad would have been if the people that made the Arkham games, these in-depth single-player games, had made Suicide Squad a single-player game with each character having their own way to approach missions with that combat system, stealth, and interactivity. That would have been a really amazing game. Mm-hmm. But instead, they made it live service. Now you've got this Hogwarts game. How do you even make that live service? How do you even make it a looter game? I don't even know how you do that. Are you hunting down different wands? And you got, this is the green wand. This is the green wand with the sparkles. This is the green double wand with the sparkles.
No, the wand chooses you, though.
Not in a live service, the wand doesn't choose you. The random number generator decides if you got the 0.5% drop chance to get the wand that chooses you. And if you also have the secret currency, you need to get the Slytherin coins. And the Slytherin coins can only be used to buy the Slytherin wands. You got to get the Gryffindor coins to buy the Gryffindor the coins. Now, if you get all 4 houses coins, that buys the silver Hogwarts coins. That you can save up for the gold Hogwarts coins.
Yeah.
And those can be saved up to buy the Potter coins. But you got to use real currency to get the Dumbledore coins.
Oh.
Or Order of Phoenix coins. You save up real currency to get the Order of Phoenix coins.
Yeah.
Which give you a chance to buy a box that might have something you want. Maybe. And there's a chance you'll get the same thing. So keep buying until you get something you want.
How you doing, Bloodaxe?
I am perfectly fine. And I've actually been debating picking up Hogwarts, but I'm just waiting for it to go on sale. I don't care if they want an award or not. Just wait for it to go on sale.
Hey, don't buy that, man. Wait for the next one. It's going to have unlimited play opportunity. You'll get to fight he who cannot be named 13 times.
Yeah, no.
All right, next up, this one actually was sent.
Chin on her. I wonder if that already designed.
Yeah. This one was actually sent to us by Bloodaxe, and that is Ubisoft's Star Wars Outlaw, accused of assassinating Game's female protagonist and turning her into a chestless Karen, as this one article states.
Not us, that article. Wow, that's strongly worded.
Yeah. Blood, you sent us the video on this. What's all this about, man?
Man, that's a handsome lady.
Now, they were talking about the unisexing of different characters or making them to the point to where they're not even attractive anymore. And we've seen this a lot with different video games lately, to where they're making ugly women, or they're making them with more chiseled jaw lines. And this is a game I was actually interested in playing, because I just finished Jedi Survivor, and this one looks interesting. But if they're going to keep going down this rabbit hole, I'm not even going to bother purchasing. What was that?
No, they had a picture of the Crimson Chin. They were talking about the cleft chin.
Oh,
got the Chad chin, bro.
But if you look at the actresses that these were modeled after, they can drastically change them to make them ugly. So why hire attractive women to be models when you're going to just jack them up anyway?
Because that's not the model. You need to go look at the writing staff.
Because those aren't real women, right?
You gotta go look at the writing staff. That is one of the writers. Probably one of the writers. We know this, dude. How many times have they went and said, that doesn't look like the model at all, and then you find like the head writer, and you're like, oh, it's a writer.
Yeah, we talked about
that is definitely one of the writers.
Yeah. So no, I thought that would be something. It was just something interesting, that a game that I was interested in, now I'm no longer interested in, just because you want to play stupid politics.
Hey, it might still be a good game. every main character doesn't have to be attractive. It
I
hurts.
I don't care.
Hmm? Hmm?
That's just it. Just make a bloody good game and quit trying to make changes. What was that game we talked about a couple of weeks ago where they were reaming this video game company over the coals because they made this character too busty and then or too attractive, and then they showed the model and she was was almost spot on.
Stellar something is Stellar Blade. Yeah, Stellar Blade. And it was like a 1-for-1 of the model. Look, man, I can honestly say this because I rarely play games with female main characters anyway. I don't actually care about the attractiveness that much. A average-looking female character doesn't bother me. Now, don't get me wrong. What Fable's doing is wrong. Like, that character is freaking like, oh my God.
I'm hoping that was just that video.
Because now the main Fable character is actually like jarring. Like the main character of Fable, I don't know if it was just a bad angle, but the character for the new Fable game in every shot actually looks repulsive. And I can't play that game if that's what they're going to look like. Just some of the shots just catch, maybe it's the angle, but like some of those angles, I was like, ugh. But I don't care. They don't have to be attractive. And I really mean that because I don't care. I don't need to be attracted to a female character, dude.
It's not an issue. I think of people wanting to be attracted to the characters.
Okay-ish, but some of the shots she looks really jacked up.
It's the issue of why deliberately downgrade the looks of a character.
If you've got a model now,
and specifically to women. I mean, you still see the normally iconic, good-looking man, chiseled chest, sharp jaw,
you rarely
square
see
jaw.
A main male character that's unattractive. That's not.
And it tends to still, and on those they tend to be pretty damn close to the model,
Mm-hmm.
Where
Baldur's Gate, like when they were showing Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Well, actually, most of Baldur's Gate characters look good. They didn't do that.
No,
they all look pretty good.
But yeah, and it seems to be something that this anti-male gaze or whatever they got going on. And the thing is look, I have no complaints about you putting handsome men in a game or beautiful women in a game because guess what? Beauty does sell. Like, things that attract the eye cause sales to go up. That's why we've used models for years and things. It's why you put models in the commercials. It's why they take pictures of cars with hot models. It's why they, because if I can get your eye to look, then you're more likely to buy.
Well, here's the thing. I don't mind. Because one, like I said, I'm not looking for that, dude. I want to play a game. But I will say this, though. You are making sure that you're not going to be a real success. Because here's the thing. A unattractive female character will never be a famous one. All right? It's not. It's never going to be a genre-defining one that sticks. It's true. Name one. Name an average-looking female character on a video game that is like got their own franchise.
Well, no, I mean, dude,
you always Samus. Yeah. No, they're always gonna be. So what you're doing is that character from Outlaw. It's not gonna be iconic,
dude. It's why it's iconic.
You're pigeonholing them into not being.
It's
iconic.
Why even in cartoons, you look at anime, and the MC almost looks the same between multiple animes, but it's because people have gone, that's an MC. They look at that character, they look at certain characteristics of the character, the hair, whatever, and it changes throughout the generations, the decades. But at that time period when that was made, that drawing is what was the most eye-catching, what brought the most
like
heroic.
Anyone else in the anime, they were always stood out from all the other characters. But unfortunately, that caused them to kind of all look like every other main character.
Yeah.
But everyone else has normal hair that lies down. It isn't. But spiky.
if you look through the generations of drawings, though, each decade there are similar characteristics because that's what's currently catching the human eye, you know? And that's the same thing. You take what is currently considered the model, the aesthetically pleasing, and that's what you want to cast in your video games and your movies because that's what's going to cause people to show interest, you know?
So it's just strategically it's a poor strategy, but it doesn't bother me. I understand why it bothers Bloodaxe though, because I mean, get it. It's a sign of politics, and it's a warning sign because it's stage one. It's here's how a human recognizes things. First, usually it's visual. Sometimes it's auditory, but usually it's visual. And what he's done is he sees the signs of the problem. Next, we're gonna watch trailers, and you're gonna hear probably them say something.
Yeah.
Then when you play the game, they're gonna make you do something you don't like.
And then
so I get it.
And then you're gonna have that bad taste in your mouth.
You're gonna have. You beat me to it. So I'm not opposing Bloodaxe. I get it. I'm saying, hey, I'm playing devil's advocate and going, it doesn't really bug me, but I see what you're doing because I've done it too, where I say that's a red flag. That's red flag one. You see the main character and go, that's an odd look. And then you're going, oh boy, I'm almost sure when I hear dialogue, somebody's going to say something. And then when I play it, you're going to be like, oh, they're going to make me do something stupid. And then the next thing you know, you're going to be like, threw up in my mouth.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have you're going to go through the stages of grief where you're in denial. Maybe it's not that bad. And no, I want my money back. You know,
oh man, the stages of grief of Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Man, we were like, man, okay, we can get it's the next. Oh man, maybe it's not that bad. They'll fix it.
I spent a long time going the next patch. Remember? Did I consider Bloodaxe?
It took you the longest to get to acceptance.
I kept going. There's more DLC coming. The DLC. Remember Bloodaxe? I kept going. There's more DLC. They're not done, right? They're not done. There's more DLC coming. It's gonna fix everything.
It took me weeks to tell you I deinstalled that game.
He really didn't want to let me know he deinstalled it. And I'm just sitting there playing going like, don't worry, man. When the DLC comes out, hey, I farmed you a new gun. And he's like, yeah, he ain't even got the game installed.
Here's some more codes, man.
Yeah, here's some more shift codes. I'm like, don't worry, man. I'm going to get you. When they patch your gun in your class, you're going to be good to go with the DLC. And I'm watching for the dates. They say anything yet? And then finally, I was just like, Bloodaxe, it's not going to happen, right? And he's like, I uninstalled the game. And I'm like, I know. I secretly, in my heart, knew that you and Xeno have not had this game on your systems for a long time. I've been playing alone. Nobody's playing. There's no videos. No one's playing this game but me.
Well, dude, I was so adamant on playing. I bent the knee and even, paid for the game on Epic because it wasn't on Steam. And yeah, by the time you were still going on, I'd already not only uninstalled the game, I'd also uninstalled Epic.
The skeleton of a good game was there, like the bones, but the flesh was rotten, and these suckers had left, like Gearbox was off doing something else. They were long gone. They probably going like, man, somebody's still playing? But when I knew they were done is when there weren't even patches. Mm-hmm. When I noticed that the season cycle was just on a cycle, like there were no more comments. Remember, I was like, I think they did this already. And he's just like that. He just had a face like, oh, man, that's odd. They're not leaving comments. And I'm like, yeah, they're not. I think it may be automated. And I was like, it's automated. It's automated. They're not even bothering to pay attention anymore. They pushed a button to have it go woo, auto spin, and I knew I was done. I said, wow, it's automated. They're not even watching this anymore. They hit the cycle button and left.
Yeah.
And it broke at one point. The cycle stopped working, and they didn't even bother to come back. They're like, whatever.
Oh, well, Sony snobs are crying again.
I love it when someone else says it. It's not me.
As Sony has announced that Ghost of Tsushima is coming to PC May of 2024. I think it's like May 16th, something like that. Yeah. They're like, oh, you're getting rid of our exclusive. It's been 4 years. It's actually a game I was interested in that I did not get because it was a Sony exclusive. And I'm actually interested in seeing this come to PC. It will be the director's cut, which is really cool. So yeah.
Hey, you know me. I love getting that 40-50% off on the director's cut. Getting that nice discount.
That's the only problem. Yeah, you're probably gonna have to wait a few months for them to reduce the price on it.
I'm patient. I'm still waiting on Ragnarok to drop like dead cheap, man. I'm patient as heck. I love getting a scoop on Sony and paying them pennies. I'm hateful. You forgot about me.
Yeah.
I'm hateful. I'll wait. I'll get it, man. They'll be playing. Y'all will be playing God of War, Egypt. Y'all will be fighting Emotep and Set, and I'll be over here just now, going like, man, this Leviathan fax is awesome, just to get the sale.
I mean, God of War right now is $49. Probably come around summer. I figured this summer would be a good time probably to pick it up if you haven't, man. I mean, I figure the summer sale they'll probably put in a decent.
I'll compromise. They get it down to 30. I'll give them.
Yeah, 30. I figure probably 30 is about where I think it'll probably be around
30.
this summer.
I'll meet them in the middle. I'll go up to $5 from half. I'll give them 30.
Yeah. But no, man, I'm actually I was interested in this game, and
I am. I love samurai stuff, man.
So
I've wanted
seeing it come to PC. That's sort of cool. On top of crying Sony people, Helldivers director says there's no need to compare it with Halo. Just enjoy both, or neither, or either.
No, man,
because of people's trying to taunt Xbox fans about Helldivers 2. And I will say, with the creative director of Helldivers 2 coming out and saying that, it gives me a little more willing, like, I'm not big into forced co-op.
I'm going to check something. I'm going to mess with them. I want to see how many copies Helldivers sold.
I'm not big into forced co-op, so I have been holding off on this game. But our boy Damien, on his channel, Damien Fleece, he started streaming it. I think he released a video today on it, and watched a little bit of it. And it's definitely wanting to making me go, all right, maybe I'll go check it out.
You're talking crap about Helldivers versus Halo. I'm like, it ain't no Power World. 4 million copies, and they talking crap. we got a half-ass company that used AI and crap to make a game that sold 5 times that. Man, Sony show like to talk crap about some half-ass junk. Man, Helldivers beat the crap out of Halo, and some knockoff Pokemon beat the crap out your whole dang franchise. We done be Spider-Man 2 and Helldivers put together.
The thing is this is not a Sony franchise. This is an independent company.
No, I'm not knocking them. I'm knocking Sony.
But
just how
I get
they
you.
try to claim W's.
As a matter of fact, Helldivers 2, the company responsible for it, did say that they are not selling to Sony because there was rumors of them possibly selling to Sony, and they did come out and also say, no, we're not. So
No, that'd be a bad idea. You don't want to keep your games open.
Yeah.
Because, you do that, you'll never get your games on the other platforms. Because guess what? They sold 4 million with Sony. I bet you they go on the Xbox, they'll make more than 4 million
Well, they
copies.
sold 4 million on Steam. Isn't that what that said there?
Oh, just on Steam?
Yeah, it didn't say how many they sold on Sony.
I bet it don't hit Power.
Well, I mean, I think Steam sold about 10 million or 16 million, something like that on
and I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm just saying, though, it's funny to see them go like, ha, Halo, and Xbox is going to be like, Power World. You get what I'm saying, though, right? Bloodaxe is like, somebody's trying to clown, and they haven't got anywhere near the biggest game that's like, was an Xbox PC exclusive. And you're just like, dude, shut up.
They just paid the most money to keep it on their consoles. So
Yeah, you know how much Xbox paid to make Power exclusive? Nothing. They didn't even ask for it to be exclusive. It just was. It was like, yeah, we didn't pay nothing to do that. So it's like, chill out. Like, chill out, dude. It's like, now, don't get me wrong. I mean, yeah, I didn't know it beat Halo. I thought Halo did well, but who knows? But I'll admit, Halo to me hasn't been the same since it wasn't made by Bungie. I mean, my favorite Halo games were all the Bungie versions. I'll give you that. Like, I love Halo 1, 2, 3, Reach, and ODST. Those to me are absolutely the best. I give you that. But you don't want to go crazy talking mess about a game and comparing it to not the biggest because also you're comparing it to a game. Halo didn't even come out last year. I think Halo was like 22. So why don't you compare it to this Xbox year's game? You know, what's up with that? Why don't you compare it to this year's?
Well, I mean, the thing is people were trying to compare it to Halo because they're similar games. It's Halo also has that co-op, but there's more PvP, I think, than
Halo's also like a worn-out franchise that's on like its 8th game, man.
Well, yeah,
but it's also on Game Pass for free, so you're not even going to sell a copy.
Most people play it on Game Pass for free. So you're comparing games sold to a game that almost everybody got on Game Pass because it was on PC Game Pass and console Game Pass. It's also, and I'll admit it, a very old franchise.
And your numbers are probably way off. That 4 million that you stated was on Steam, and that was like 3-4 weeks ago. And it is actually interesting. The sales curve for Helldivers 2 is an inverse curve, meaning that it started selling more throughout the weeks instead of selling less.
Yeah, when its popularity was climbing.
Yeah. So
it may have climbed up then. Maybe it is competing with Power World. What does it hit now?
I don't have a number right now. I can't find a number, but it does seem like that 4 million is probably a pretty close to saying it's an undershot. Currently, we'll have to see. Eventually, they'll release the numbers, I'm sure, but they haven't really released it.
If it topples Power World, that's an accomplishment.
Yeah.
But like I said, comparing it to a game that one is available for free, or available on a service across all the services, like on PC and on console, compared to a really old game, you're not comparing it to Halo 2. You're literally comparing it to like I said, like the 7th game, I want to say, 7th or 8th game, because there was Halo 5. It's at least the 7th game, I want to say. And what I consider to be a burnt-out franchise. Even I was like, man, they've made a lot of Halo games. It to me is getting fatigued. Not really a great comparison. Similar, yes. Fresh, no. So that's why I'm just like, compare it to what's came out this year. That's what you do. You compare it to the exclusive that came out this year. And that's a better comparison.
But yeah, there's no official numbers though, so we'll keep an eye on it. I mean, like I said, dude,
it could be competing, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's probably close, dude, with what I'm seeing, and I watch a lot of the Steam sales, and also, I have a good number of people, my friends, listen on the Steam, and I sort of compare on truth of sales by how many other people I see playing, and I'm like, okay, I see a good number of people on my list are playing Helldivers.
No, even with Power World, it's on Game Pass.
Yeah, about the same number I think are playing Helldivers as I saw playing Power World and Baldur's Gate 3.
That's bragging rights. If you can compete with that and actually reach into reach into top game sales, that's when you brag. But you don't compare yourself to, like I said, burnt out game 2 years ago and go, hey, it's stopping that. That to me is weak sauce. Because it stinks of desperation. That would be like going, man, Helldivers 2 is beating the crap out of Gears of War 5. And it's like, yeah.
I mean, they're having similar issues that we've seen other games that have unexpected popularity having, which is They're having tons of server issues because
didn't expect
they
to be
didn't
that good,
expect to
yeah.
be. Yeah. So I mean, but once again, it's $39 game. And what have we been talking about with these lower
Those are the
price
ones that are kicking
games
all
that
the tail.
seem to be kicking tail?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking Helldivers too. I'm knocking Sony for trying to claim a lazy win.
Well, yeah.
Also, like you said, I don't think it's a game that was meant even so much to be an exclusive. It just happens to be. Like you said, I don't think they're owned by Sony. I think it was just.
Well, here's the thing:
Sony
for
and PC.
each console you buy, you have to pay for licensing. There's extra development that goes through. When you're an indie company, you usually pick one or another. Power World picked Xbox. Helldivers picked PlayStation. You know, that's who they were able to get their licensing through, and you know, and they were able to develop toward. It's sadly now. There's a lot of people on Xbox who apparently want the game, so it may get developed on Xbox eventually. I know there's petitions out.
I believe Phil Spencer said he wants it. He says, "Yeah, we're up for it." So it's now a question of how much is Sony willing to pay him to not do it. Sony.
Same thing with Power World. Is Power World may eventually be on Sony. I mean, they have talked about it. It was a licensing issue with them at the time. You know, they couldn't get the license, you know, at the price they wanted. So,
you know what's funny though? I don't believe Xbox would try to pay them to not put it on PlayStation. I do believe PlayStation will try to play Helldivers to not put it on Xbox. I don't think Xbox cares enough to. I think they'd be like, we want to put Power on PlayStation. They'd be like, okay. I don't think they care. I just don't really think they care. I don't think they'd be willing to do it. We know that we've seen how much PlayStation is willing to pay. $600 million. We've seen the price tag. Like, we know that they will throw hundreds of millions of dollars, and literally cut into their profit so bad that they're firing people. So, question is, how much are they willing to pay Helldivers to stay off of Xbox? I am 100% convinced, because Phil Fincher's even said it. He's publicly said, yeah, you know, when they asked him, he said, like, we get it. Yeah, we don't have a problem with that. I'm almost sure he'd cut them a good deal. I'm almost sure he'd be like, we're willing to give you the license cheap. But that cheap probably won't beat PlayStation going like, we'll give you $200 million not to do it. Because PlayStation doesn't seem to care about profit, man. They are willing to burn, like I said, burn down the forest, you know, to try to keep the trees. And you're just like, because I do not think they're going to make their money back on that Marvel deal. I will never stop bringing that up. I cannot believe that they're going to make back the huge amount of money they spent on that Marvel deal. It's just that much money. It's too much to keep it exclusive. Their exclusive Marvel deal is such an exorbitant amount of money, especially when they spent $300 million just to make Spider-Man 2. That means that just on that game alone, they're like $900 million in, man. I can't see what they're expected to get out of these Marvel games to turn that into a significant profit. Let me word it that way.
They're hoping to sell more consoles.
Go ahead, brother. What'd you say?
They're hoping to sell more consoles.
Apparently.
And they would get their money through other revenues of selling other games that are because you had bought the PlayStation console just to play Spider-Man. I get the business strategy. I just think it's ill-advised to go down that path.
I think it's a big gamble. I think that's too much to spend on hoping that the Marvel exclusivity will sell you enough consoles to pay for itself. It feels like it's a bit risky. You know, with the gaming market having so many bomb games, it feels like games aren't as a sure thing as they used to be. You know, they're just not. Like, you can't depend on it like you used to. We've seen AAA games not working very often. It's completely impossible to tell what's going to succeed. We don't even know. Helldivers, nobody saw that coming. Power World, nobody saw that coming. It's a gamble. So with it being a gamble, the concept of going, I know this game is going to be worth a lot, let's throw millions of dollars at it, doesn't work. But they've already done that. They're locked in. Remember, that contract, punishes them if they don't succeed at these games. Remember? They have to compensate Marvel. So they bought in this contract where Wolverine has to succeed. X-Men game has to succeed. If not, they're screwed. Marvel doesn't suffer, they suffer. Bad contract. So they're hosed.
Yeah. I mean, who knows, man? Anyway, I think that's all we got, dude. Any last comments, Bloodaxe?
Man, that feels final.
I just want something fun to come out that I can play with my boys because right now I'm getting tired of playing single player games.
Gotcha. You?
Lego Power World.
It's rough right now.
Yeah, Lego Power World. That would be awesome.
Right. All right, with that, we're going to wrap it up, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out Dicejunkies.com where you can find links everywhere we are online, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell on our YouTube channel. And as every week,
we hope you enjoy.